YouTube? I am Dom Knight. This is Night Talks. And we're back with another reaction for you. Guys, make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, helps me out a lot. Alright, today I got the homies back. It's complicated. We all know they're dropping some of the best content in the dating game, and we gotta react to it. This one here is called Masculine, Feminine, Presenting the Rules of Modern Dating, Understanding Women. I haven't watched this authentic reaction, so I have no clue what is in store. So let's just get right into it.
Who do you perceive to be more feminine, straight women or gay men?
Oh, depends on the situation, but my mind goes gay men immediately.
Why is that?
I think so too.
I think Hollywood has shown us that. Hollywood has portrayed the gay man as flamboyant, gay best friend, shopaholic. So in my mind, I think coffee, I think Starbucks, I think cheeseburger, I think McDonald's, I think gay man, I think Hollywood best friend, girlier than me.
Gay men definitely, they take the cake.
Why?
Because they're trying too hard. They're trying to be feminine, and women are already feminine. So it's an act, and I mean it's an act because they have to act like a woman.
Who do you perceive to be more masculine, straight men or butch lesbians?
Straight men.
Straight men.
Straight men.
Why is that?
Again, it's kind of perception. It's what Hollywood has told us, what society has told us, but I think straight man and I think caveman type, adjusting his whatnots in public. Butch lesbian is like the android version of a straight man.
Hold up. I did not plan on pausing it this soon, but I gotta say I do agree with this woman. To a degree. I think when it comes to gay men, there's this stereotypical gay man, like she said, the Hollywood gay man that we've been perceived to know, especially over the last 20 or so years. They're always presented very flamboyant, very out there, very I'm not gonna sit here and do anything, but you guys know what I'm talking about. I don't want to be disrespectful to anybody, but I gotta agree with that. Just the perception that's perceived. But I have met gay men who go out there, grind in the mud, do hard labor jobs. Like they act like typical masculine men. They just happen to have a male lover. So it's not always the case, but I do think what the media has portrayed to us would definitely skew your mind to think that way. And I gotta say, I mean, a butch lesbian is not as masculine as a straight man. Like I don't even think I really need to explain that, but yeah, I agree with her. I think she's bringing up some good points here. Didn't mean to pause it so soon, so let's continue.
What does it mean to be masculine or feminine?
I think that's changing. Perception is changing. I think any gender can be feminine or masculine. I don't think there's terms on it necessarily, parameters.
What is the difference between masculine and feminine energy?
Oh, that's a good question.
What? Great question.
That's a good question. Yes.
All right. Feminine energy is more like accepting. I would say like more engulfing, and like masculine energy is more like take charge. I would say.
I would say feminine energy reminds me of I think of the color pink. I don't know why. Okay.
Let's see. Masculine, I think for me, would be someone who looks like they have a big build, or either they're actually acting like a man and actually taking care of themselves like a man and their family like a man. Now, feminine could be both, and it doesn't mean that. Actually, it could go both ways, because now I was just telling someone, like, I don't want to be a man. I don't want to be tough, but I have to be because I don't have a guy.
Why can feminine be both but masculine can't?
Because men will probably, even if they're not gay, sometimes they will, see stuff from a woman's point of view if they are in tune with themselves. And a lot of men who protect women understand femininity.
When two lesbians go out on a date, who pays?
The one who asked the other one on a date.
When two lesbians go out on a date, who pays?
Both of them, or the one who argues less.
When two lesbians go out on a date, they often hold the door open for each other and split the bill. Why is it as soon as a man is involved, he suddenly has to do all the work?
I think that just goes back to like being a man, you know, like we're considered the providers, and as a man you're expected to take care of a woman.
I think that's just society norms. I mean, he opens the door for me, and I let it, and I like it like that. I just think it's the role you want to take. In some gay relationships, somebody's always dominant. Whoever wants to be more dominant or wants to feel that, I think, and that still goes back to like men and women.
Why is there more flexibility with gender roles in a same-sex relationship than there is in a heterosexual relationship?
Good question.
Well, in the sense of that, I think it's more flexibility because, in a same-sex relationship, you do have like more than likely like, you know, the other person is really understanding what the other person wants. So in a situation like that or a relationship like that, you understand what the other person's want or what they're looking for. So you do understand just a little bit more. Instead of that, do you have anything to say?
I think it's more flexible because that's just being gay. You can be whatever the fuck you want to be.
When a woman says she's tired of dating men, why do they often end up dating a woman who looks and acts like a man?
Oh, it's a great question.
Maybe they still want the masculine energy, but they want to try different genitalia.
Why wouldn't a woman just prefer to date a feminine man than a masculine woman?
Because if they still want that masculine energy, a feminine man may not have a lot of masculine energy, may not have more masculine energy than a masculine woman, if that's what they're desiring.
Because with women, you get more of an emotional concept. Women are gorgeous. I mean, have you seen women? We have all of the parts that men lack. And even though I may dress and act like a man, I may be the one to open the doors and pay for dinner, I'm still a woman deep down. I still have the emotional depth. We could sit all night for 8 hours completely naked and talk about our feelings, and nobody's sexualizing the other person. We're just being sensual with each other. You lack that with a man.
Don't a lot of men have the parts that women lack?
Yo.
Yes, but I can attach my parts and choose their size.
If women are
Okay. I didn't put it on pause there, but I'm sorry I got to comment on that because that is a great question. I've always wondered that myself. When women, typically, when straight women are like, I'm done with men, they go and they grab the butchiest, manliest looking guy acting like a dude that they can get. And obviously, no matter what you look like or how you carry yourself, women are still women and men are still men. So we are still innately going to act on our instincts primally. But come on, lady, you're saying that men lack all the parts that women have. I'm like, yeah, y'all got some great parts. You're not even wrong, but come on now. You can attach yours. That's cool, but I don't know. I don't think it's fair to say that men lack all the parts because guess what? Men and women, we need each other. It's yin and yang. There's things women have that men don't and vice versa. So it just to me, just from what I took from what she said, it sounded like she's saying a gay female is superior to a straight male in a relationship with a woman. And I don't know. For me, it just feels like when women cross over the other side because they're fed up with men, it's just a rebellion. To me, it feels like a rebellion thing. You know, it feels like a rebellious thing. And I could bring up 100 examples, but I'm not going to make this video drag out. Guys, tell me what you think in the comment section when it comes to that. But I'm going to just continue. I ain't going to say nothing else. But I do think that female is pretty smart. The gay woman who was just talking, I do think she has made some good points so far.
always right, how do lesbians settle arguments?
That was a great question, too.
The more masculine one has to take the L always.
Can you say it again? I couldn't hear that.
The more masculine one has to take the L
He's
always.
probably right.
What does
there.
that mean?
That they have to like, just like please like the more feminine to just like get along like yeah, like okay babe, like you're right, you know?
Just to de-escalate the situation, I guess.
So why would anyone want to be the more masculine one when the more feminine one just gets to show up and be spoiled?
I honestly have no control over that because like, you know, like.
If a woman is bisexual, Does she hold her girlfriend to the same standards she holds a man to?
She should.
Why would any woman want to be the more dominant one when the submissive one gets to show up and be spoiled?
Because dominance has its own things. People like dominance like to be dominant because they get something from it, just like a submissive person does.
What do you get?
From being dominant, I get spoiled just as much. I get to see the joy on my person's face when I do things like open doors and buy dinner and help out around the house. It surprises them, and I love it. I love serving my person. Dominance, really, you think submission is serving, but dominance is serving.
If women are always right, how do lesbians settle arguments?
Rock, paper, scissors, and I mean that in the most literal way.
Do you believe in the concept of gaydar?
Yes.
What are the characteristics of a closeted gay person?
Good question.
For the boys' side, if he listens to Cher and Madonna, 100%. I don't care if he wears pink, that's not a tell. But if he listens to Cher, if he's going to watch Mamma Mia with you, he's gay.
Hey, Mamma
What about
Mia
for
ain't a
women?
bad movie, and I'm
If
straight.
they're checking me out.
There really isn't any way to tell someone's gay without them being like behaviorally different. Like I can tell that like someone is gay by like the way that they walk, you know? Or like if they're wearing something like I'm wearing, like I'm bisexual and like I want people to know that. So like I'm not gonna wear like a typical like straight male like alpha male outfit, you know, like I'm gonna like present to the world that like, hey, like I'm bisexual, you know? So like yeah, so like
What's
it's
an
in, like,
alpha male
the
outfit,
behavior,
though?
like the mannerisms of speech, clothing wear.
Why are gay people more aware of how their clothes and behavior present to the world than the straight women who complain that revealing clothing shouldn't get them unwanted attention?
Ooh, that's another good question.
That's a confusing question.
It's actually
You want
not.
to
It's a
explain
great
it, or do you
question.
don't understand it?
I guess I understand.
What I'm saying is like, okay, if you're a lot of gay men will dress a certain way because they want to let people know that they're gay or bisexual.
Yeah.
They wear like kind of feminine looking clothes,
Definitely,
right? A lot of butch lesbians will like smoke cigars and like get a certain haircut that presents them as
He's
more
literally
masculine, so
talking
people
about
know
the
that they're
people
more
he's
of a
been
okay?
interviewing.
Yeah.
So your image matters.
Yeah,
Okay, your image matters.
definitely.
So once again, why are gay people more aware of how their clothes and behavior present to the world than the straight women who complain that revealing clothing shouldn't get them unwanted attention?
Well, because if you're gay, and let's say like you're a guy, and you want to be perceived as a woman, then naturally you have to dress more feminine. You know what I mean? And then for women who are always dressed a certain way, or that's their typical way of dressing, they're, you know, they feel like they shouldn't have to be bothered because that's how they should be dressed. You know what I mean?
Doesn't your image define who you are?
To an extent.
To an extent,
To
I
an
agree with
extent,
that.
like to an extent. So like if I'm like sagging my pants and I have like a flag on my back pocket, like you're gonna know like, okay, that dude's a gangbanger. But you know, if I don't wear a belt that day and my pants are sagging, then maybe my pants are just low today. You know what I mean?
A few years ago, everybody agreed on simple principles, like gender, for example. All of a sudden, these ideas became complicated, controversial, and sometimes downright confrontational. What do you think happened?
I think that it was like people not being upset that other people don't feel the same way that they do.
Yep.
That might fall into the entitlement category. I don't know. I think that might be entitlement of, you know, I want to be special. I mean, gay rights has made huge leaps and bounds, and you know, if you want to do whatever you want to do with your sexuality and in your life, and that's fine. And if you want to be treated equal as everyone else, that's cool too. But I don't, you know, necessarily agree with having to put all these labels on all this craziness. Like, that doesn't make sense. You know, you're either a male or female. Like, I'm not a doctor, but it's pretty easy to tell.
Do you think it's okay to label people?
No, not at all.
If it's wrong to label people, why do some people get offended if you don't refer to them with the right pronouns? Isn't that labeling people?
That was like another good. God, his questions are so good.
Well, I guess you label and you refer to people the way they would like to be labeled and referred to. You don't give them labels yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I mean, they're labeling themselves. Like, if they get upset that we're not saying the right things, they can just let us know, and like then we'll tell them the right things. But like, if we don't know what they are, then we're just gonna assume what we see, you know.
I kind of got to ask you this question because I think it's funny. In the acronym LGBTQ, how did they decide which letter came first?
I think that maybe is women's entitlement for the lesbian women's act. I don't know.
So could it
It
be?
sounds cool. So I don't know if QLBT sounds very cool.
So could it be because ladies first?
Very, very well could be. Ladies are always first, though. You know.
Real rap.
That's never going to change if you're a gentleman.
Could it be because ladies first?
Yes.
Could it have been settled in an arm wrestling tournament?
Probably rock, paper, scissors.
Why
This is
didn't
this girl's
lesbians
favorite
claim the G
game.
for themselves?
Because we didn't think of it.
Aren't all lesbians gay, but not all gays are lesbian?
Damn, bro.
Damn.
wrong. A hetero man has this logic. You're not wrong.
Aren't all lesbians gay, but not all gays are lesbian?
Yeah, but lesbian is like specifically for women, and gay is like for men and women. But like lesbian is for the women.
Why not just combine the G and the L
Just
into
combine
an
the
H
G
for
and
homosexual, or
cut
just
it
get
out.
rid of the L?
Different strokes for different folks, man. I don't know.
Why not just combine the G and the L into an H for homosexual?
You know what? That would be inclusive. I think we can look at that. Maybe it's in the gay constitution. We can make some amendments.
Or maybe just get rid of the L.
Constitution.
Hang on now. Hang on. Let us not be forgotten on the day after Pride Month.
Why do women seem to bond better with gay men?
Because I think women relate to gay men more because gay men are typically feminine. So I feel like they like relate to each other. They have common interests.
If gay men love men and aren't controlled by pussy power, why are they more likely to support women's issues than men's issues?
Because every woman has a gay best friend for the most part, or somebody in their life.
Why are women so welcoming of the gay community, yet so quick to shame a man as gay when they don't get what they want?
That's a good question.
Wow.
That's a good question.
Great question.
Yo.
I don't know.
Dude, he's on fire
That's a great
today.
question. What do you think?
cuz-
Answer for that?
I never thought of that.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah.
Okay. Why are women so welcoming of the gay community, yet so quick to shame
this
a man
bull
as
doing in
gay
the
when they don't get
background?
what they want?
Who does that?
Well, a lot of women will attack a man's masculinity when they don't get what they want.
Oh, okay, I understand what you're saying. Okay, so if they're their friends, they're probably not going to want to hurt their feelings. But if it's someone that you're dealing with, you want to tell them the truth. And you want to make sure that they understand what you want.
A few years ago, everybody agreed on simple principles, like gender, for example. All of a sudden, these issues became complicated, controversial, and sometimes downright confrontational. What do you think happened?
The world is becoming more, like I said, it's like more people are being indulgent, and the laws are changing for one. You have a lot of people that are out of the closet, and it's a lot of media. There's a lot of television that shows and promotes it. I mean, be gay if you want to be gay, but we don't have to see it on every show, and pretty much it's everywhere. It's just being thrown into people's faces, even the kids. I was at a book reading and they had a drag queen there, and that's just not cool.
So you feel like it's an agenda that's being pushed?
Absolutely.
If a person can identify as whatever they want, why does your identity even matter in the first place?
It doesn't.
So then why do so many people talk about how important their identity is?
I don't know, and they shouldn't. They just shouldn't. I just feel like we are just all one alive being, and it's like,
You ever heard of identity politics?
no.
Identity politics means I deserve special treatment because I'm a woman, or because I'm gay, or because I'm black, or this or that.
Yeah.
Why does that matter?
It shouldn't matter.
But it certainly does.
It certainly does.
That's exactly what our politics are today.
Because people want to be what they are at the time that is convenient. Like, I may be black and gay, but if I need to be black at the moment, I will be black. But if I need to be gay at the moment, I need to be gay. Or if I'm white and I want to be white at the moment, I'll be white. If I want to be gay at the moment, I'll be gay. So you can't, that's why they feel like that. Because they want to be able to choose whichever one is going to get them what they want.
Right, but isn't that just manipulative and disingenuous?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So how do you trust and respect those people?
You have to actually know who you're talking to. If they're doing it like that, then you don't trust them because they're wishy-washy and they can sway.
Oh, that is it. That was a good one. I really enjoyed that. Man, it's complicated. This is a smart guy, man. I don't know if he's right. I don't know if the interviewer is writing these questions. Whoever is writing these questions, this person is extremely intelligent. He comes up with some of the best questions. I'm like, man, he was blowing my mind the whole video with some of these questions. This was a very controversial video. This was a controversial video. We had a lot going on here, really diving into gay things, the lesbian things. This is a touchy subject, and it's a fine line between conversational and offensive. And I'm not going to say too much. I'll start with this. I have no problems with gay people. I don't care if you're a man who likes man, a woman who likes woman. I don't care if you're trans. I don't care what you are. Be yourself. Do what you do. I'ma do me. You do you. I don't care. That's the first thing. I know gay people. I'm cool with gay people. I do not care, bro. So let's get that straight right now. But I do think, one thing that caught my attention was right at the end, the black woman with the braids. How she was saying, this is starting to feel like an agenda and, certain things are being pushed. I'm not going to say I feel like that, but I know a lot of people who do. And I do think she made a good point. It is very apparent in these days, especially when you're watching TV and movies and shows and things. You do see a lot of this. I can't say it's an agenda because a lot of times it does fit the narrative and a lot of times it does make for a more interesting story or whatever. But I can't say, I don't want to call it an agenda, but I will say I have noticed there's been a lot more of it in our media. It's been a lot more in our faces. We see it all on our social media. We see it in TV and movies. We see it everywhere out in public. People are being themselves and I love it. And I'm proud of it. I'm glad. I'm glad. But I do think a lot of people get wrongly accused for being, people saying they're phobic or they're this or that, just because maybe their ideals don't particularly align with one particular group. That doesn't mean they hate people of that group or they're intolerant or they don't like them or they won't deal with them. It just means they have a different belief system than you. And I think the bottom line is that we have to accept people for that. Everyone ain't gonna think like you. Everyone ain't gonna like you. And that is life. There's tons of people who don't like me. There's people watching this video right now who think I'm getting on their fucking nerves. And that's okay. I may not be for you. That's the beauty of the world. We get to pick and choose what we consume, who we want to be around. All right. I thought this was an excellent video. And I think everyone should check this out. So guys, if you're not following them, if you're not subscribed to It's Complicated, you got to check them out. They have a ton of good videos on their channel, man. So guys, I am Dom Knight. This is Night Talks. Definitely fun. Guys, make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel for more content, hit the bell so you do not miss a thing. I'll toss my social medias right there. Follow me on Instagram and TikTok only if you want to. And I will be back on Monday.
That's peace. Rack it up, I got a bit of the bank to make me a safe house. Shake it up, she got her hands on her knees and she bringing the cake out. Smoke it up, I got some gas, some packs, I'm up in the greenhouse. Ball it up, I'm with the gang, we taking shots.